We are entering the age of the creator. And as my thumbnail says, if you are a creator and you can monetize your database, you can become a billionaire by 2026. How does that work? Well, let's put it this way. I have been approached by developers. You know what a developer is? A developer is a person who takes the tools that are being created by Microsoft Copilot, by Google Workstation, and by Amazon Q, and using those tools to change the world and to help you monetize your database. And if you're a creator like me, you have an opportunity to become a billionaire by 2026. I became aware of this, as I said, as these developers came to me and said, Kerry, you have a database. You have created over the last 4 years over 2,000 videos. That's roughly 500 hours of video that you've created where you've shared your knowledge. That's your database. And if you'll turn it over to us, we can monetize it so people can come to your website and ask you any question that you have covered in your 200 hours of video and give them a snippet of that video to answer their question. Now, if you didn't cover their question, we will go to ChatGPT and we will answer the question anyway. So, in essence, I'm creating a database. Now, I've also written 4 books, so that becomes a part of my database as well. So, what I'm in a position to do is to take my creations, digitize them, monetize them through artificial intelligence, and then turn that into a place where I can sell advertising, much as Google and Facebook does, to create an income stream that could potentially take me to millions. I mean, how many of you are there out there who want answers to what is a stop loss order and what is a trailing stop loss order? What is a generation skipping trust? How can I use my dad's insurance to pay for my mom's cost of being in a nursing home? How can I take that whole life policy and turn it into something that will pay for my mother's nursing home care? Think of the questions that you have that you don't have an answer to because you can't afford a financial advisor. Well, I can answer those questions to you by monetizing my database. You can do the same thing. Let me just share with you. We had an industrial age. This was where innovators took their knowledge and their skills and brought farmers in from the farms and put them in the factories and created millions and made themselves millionaires. Then we had the digital age, and that was where engineers took their knowledge and used semiconductors to create what we call the internet so that we could communicate better. And then there were these engineers who also advanced those semiconductors such that they made our lives easier through the things like social media and e-commerce, and they made themselves billionaires. Well, your turn is here now. If you have any creative skills whatsoever, your turn to become a billionaire is here. Let me explain it a little further to you. I hope you watched Andrew Ross Sorkin's interview with Elon Musk. I hope you read Walter Isaacson's book on Elon Musk. In the interview with Andrew Ross Sorkin, Andrew asked Elon, how you speak of artificial intelligence, he said to Elon, as a god. How soon will that god be here that will basically create a being or an entity that is smarter than any human being? And Elon did one of his 10-second thinks, and he said, 3 years. 3 years. In 3 years, we will have the ability to have an entity that is smarter than humankind. Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. Nita and I send out a Christmas card every Christmas, and we take a picture and we put it on the front of the card, and then on the back of the card there is ability for us to write a paragraph of what happened in our family over the last year. So I went to Adobe. I took a picture of that I got off the internet of a sunset at the beach because we spend every Thanksgiving for the last 35 years at the beach. And then I took a picture and dropped out the background of it and placed it on that picture in Adobe Photoshop as our card. Here's what the card looks like. Then I flipped the card over and it said, okay, here you can write the paragraph. It usually takes Nita 3 days to write the paragraph, and then I edit it in another day, and then we put it on there. Well, we wrote our paragraph. It was about, 6, 7, 8 lines of copy about our grandchildren, about us, what we did, how I lost my brother. And I went to ChatGPT and I said, Chat, write me a poem from this paragraph. Within 2 seconds, Chat gave me a poem. I copied the poem. I tried to put it on the back of the card, and it was too long. And I went back to Chat, and I said, reduce it by 25% of copy. Within 2 seconds, I had it so it would fit on the back of the card. Here it is. I don't write poetry, but I will send this card to 100 people, and 10 of them will recognize that it was ChatGPT. The other 90 will believe that neither or I are a skilled poet. I got to thinking about that. I woke up this morning at 2 a.m. and I thought, my God, what did I just do? What is this presenting to me? Well, I've written, as I said, 4 books. The first book is called Tall Grass. It's a book about the first 14 years of my life. And I recognize that there were 10 events in the first 14 years of my life that created Kerry, that created my mental state. It controlled whether I was successful and where I failed. It was everything from the death of my mother to the announcement of the death of my mother to the difficulty I had in school because of my dyslexia and the success I had on the football field because of my anger and anxiety. Those things formed my character. I wrote a book about it because I wanted to leave something behind. I wanted my grandchildren to know who I was and why I was the way I was. I published it on Amazon. I then wrote another book about the next 10 years of my life, my dating years. It gets a little salty, but nonetheless, I've created 2 books of this nature. What I will be able to do within the next 3 years is download those 2 books and say to ChatGPT or Workstation or Amazon Q, write me a novel. Write me a novel in the voice of Kerry, with this sort of atmosphere, with this kind of creativity, and it will write me the book. I will then send that book to a publisher and say, publish it for me. I'll then take the book, the one on Tall Grass, the first 10 years, and say, write me 10 songs from each one of the chapters and create a song. Now put music to that song. Now go to my videos, my 200 hours of videos, and copy this person and create a voice that sings to the music that you created. Now turn it into a video that I can post on YouTube, just like Justin Bieber did, and I can become a music sensation at 80 years of age. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a music sensation as a result of ChatGPT or Copilot or Amazon Q. I don't care. They've created the tools. The developers will give me the tool to convert my creativity into a song. Then I will take that same books. I've got a third one that is about who are you, why are you you, and it basically explains the last half of my life. And I will say, make it into a screenplay and create storyboards so that I can send it to a multitude of movie producers and make me a movie star. That's what I have available to me. That's what Elon told me just earlier this week will be available to me. A AI God that will take the creations I've made and turn me into a billionaire. Now, why is this important? Well, if you're an investor, you need to know that Google, Microsoft, Amazon, NVIDIA, Meta are the people who are making the tools. The developers are secondary people. Also within there, and I got an email or a comment in a video from a video yesterday that said, you are all wrong. You and your big six crashed this last year. Well, I don't know where you live, fella, but Microsoft's up 49% in this year. Google's up 31. Amazon's up 51. Nvidia's up 176. Meta's up 174. And Apple's up 29. Now, if you want to throw two more in there that are going to be a part of this revolution that is going to make me a movie star, AMD's up 54 and Intel is up 45. Now, if you can't take that and then take what Becky Quick and Charlie Munger told me last night as I watched that interview. And Charlie said to me, if I had just changed 6 things in my life, 6 opportunities, and if I had leveraged up on them, I would not have billions now, I'd have trillions. Well, this is one of those opportunities. These companies, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, and Apple, AMD, and Intel, if you will do what Charlie said and said, leverage up, leverage up. These are people who are going to change your world. These are the people who are going to make me a billionaire because I'm going to be able to monetize my database. Now, what I'm asking you is, what is your database? What is it? Think about it. What have you created in your lifetime? Or what can you create that you can digitize, that you can leverage up your skills? Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leverage up. I'm going to use more and more and more energy to make this happen. And it will happen. Why? Because I will it to happen. Just like Elon Musk. Read Walter Isaacson's book. Understand this man. Understand. This would be like if you had the opportunity to talk to learn about Alexander Graham Bell or Thomas Edison. This is a man who's changing the world, and you have an opportunity to get inside his head and learn from him and create your own billions. Because this is the age of the creator. I've spent 4 years making videos, and that's my database. I've spent 10 years writing books, and that's my database. I've created this book over here. It's a Christmas story. It's a Christmas book about our Christmas tradition. You wait and see what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to create a cartoon that's going to be on TV. I'm going to create a storyline that Disney's going to make a movie out of my children's book. I'm a creator. I want you to think about what that word means. I want you to understand you have a choice to make right now. And that choice is, am I going to become a billionaire or not? Am I going to become a billionaire or not? Jeff Bezos is no smarter than you. Mark Zuckerberg is no smarter than you. Elon may be. But if you're a creator, and if you've got the courage to push forward, there's only one thing holding you back. It lives up here. It's that unwanted roommate that says, I can't do that. That's not possible for me to become a billionaire. Get rid of that unwanted roommate. Read my book, Who Are You and Why Are You You? That's what it's all about. Overcoming that voice in your head that says, I can't. She'll reject me. No one wants to know that. Yes, they do, if you're willing to share it. I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor, and I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and come up with these ideas to share with you because I want you to be successful. I want you to be amongst those in the next 3 years who count themselves as billionaires. If you want more of this, you know how to get it. bestofusinvestors.com. Get on the bus.